Welcome to the Seller Roundtable e-commerce coaching and business strategies with Andy Arnott and Amy Wees.
If you change your ATS code, can you avoid tariffs?
That's probably HTS code.
Yes.
I would assume, which is the harmonized tariff schedule. Well, I mean, sure. I mean, you can, it's called tariff shopping, right? And customs looks for that. So again, what you want to be is above board, above approach. If you're bringing in barbecue grills from China, you don't want to classify them as footwear to get a better rate, right? So you need to follow the rules with regards to the general rules of interpretation, which is directly related to how you classify items. And again, that's why you want a customs broker giving you these tariff codes. You don't want the supplier to give it to you. Generally, they're working with the HTS, but up to the 8th number, which is universally accepted, but not always accurate. So
got it. And that's why the HTS code that I sent you today from the supplier, you sent back, I think you're referring to this HTS code, which is this. Yeah. And so that gave me a more accurate representation. Now, what if I change the material? So for example, the product that I sent you today was plywood, which was, had increased duties on it, 25%. And what if I had that same product made out of bamboo material?
It may shift it in the tariff, right? But a lot of times you may have a product that comes in and it has, as you state, it's made of plywood, but that product is actually, it's a frame, right? Like a picture frame.
Okay.
So you're actually more looking for the essential character. You're not necessarily going in and classifying it in chapter 44, which is, products of wood. You're classifying it more into a chapter that is more akin to its kind or description. So there may be a shift, but really what you're looking at is, and again, another, your broker should do a deep dive for you on some of these commodities. And Amy, on that particular one, I didn't do a deep dive. I took the number you gave. I saw that that number was from a previous year's harmonized tariffs schedule, and I found the new updated one. But I would say before, on that particular product, before you make a decision one way or the other, let's do a little bit deeper dive and make sure that we actually have the right chapter. Because
okay.
The tariff is built up on 99 chapters. And
so for example, if I'm importing something like like metal, often it has increased duties, right? Like steel and things like that. But some metal, like things that are made of stainless steel, does not, such as pots or pans or housewares. Right. It falls under a different category. So just because it's made of metal, I shouldn't assume that I'm going to be paying increased duties on that good. I always want to check with my customs broker to make sure that I'm classifying it properly and that I'm understanding the fees that I could potentially be paying or not paying.
Yes, you are correct. And then I would like to add one caveat to when you go to a customs broker for an HTS code and subsequent tariff or duty that's attached to that HTS. Remember this, that that's not a binding ruling. It's an professional opinion, but customs ultimately decides if that HTS is correct or not. And there's ways to fight that if they come back and disagree with you, but just understand that without an actual binding ruling, which is where you take a product, a sample, you send it to customs with a request for a binding ruling, and they actually, headquarters comes back with, hey, this widget is classifiable at this, and every U.S. customs port has to comply with that. You just know that you can get various opinions from various ports because, that's what makes us human, right? We all are wired a little bit different and have a different filter for how we see things.
Right. So just to know that your customs broker is not the final decision authority, but they're hopefully, if you're going with a pretty reputable customs broker, they're going to give you a very good professional opinion. Yes. And professional kind of based on their experience. So,
yeah, and most customs brokers come from a hard wiring of living in paranoia. So they're generally going to cover their ass. Right? Because they don't want to have a conversation after the fact with their importer that, oh my goodness, this was I told you it was 5% and it's actually 35%, right? Yeah. So they're generally going to do their best, you would hope.
As ex-federal employees, both Amy and I, we know exactly how that works.
Right.
Thanks for tuning in. Join us every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for live Q&A and bonus content after the recording at SellerRoundtable.com. Sponsored by the ultimate software tool for Amazon sales and growth, SellerSEO.com and AmazingAtHome.com.